Africa, unite, cause we're moving right out of Babylon, and we go into our father's land. Yeah, how good and how pleasant it could be before God and man to see the unification of all Africans, children. Marcus Garvey said it. Now let it be done. We are the children of that higher man. We are the children of that Rasta man. Woohoo. Africa, unite. Cause the children wanna unite. Oh, yeah. Africa, unite. Cause we're moving right out of Babylon, and we go into our father's land. One more time, yes. How good and how pleasant it could be before God and man to see the unification of a Rasta man. Children, Kwame Nkrumah said it. Modibo Keita said it. I know we know who we are under the sun. Yeah, we are the children of that Rasta man. We are the children of the higher man. Whoa, whoa. Africa, unite. Africa, unite, yeah. Unite for the benefit of your people. But we're moving right out of Babylon. Unite for the benefit of your children. Hey, Africa, unite. Yes, yes, yes. Good afternoon from Houston, Texas, United States of America. My name is Smart Mado Ajaja. I am the CEO of ONN and the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite. Yes, today is a great day. I hope you are having a great day wherever you are. Great weekend, you know. Yes, you know, we must stand tough. We have to stand tough no matter the rages and stages they put us through. We must stand up for our right. This is a moment for Africa and the African people. Now, the question today is this. When will Africa and the African people be free? If not now. Yes. When will Africa and the African people be free? If not now. When will the black man in Africa, the black man in America, the black man everywhere on earth, when will they be free? When will he be free? Yes, go back to the history. Africa went through slavery. Africa went through colonialism. Africa went through imperialism. Africa went through apartheid. Now Africa is going through globalization. And all these collectively is one thing in different names. Subjugation of the African people. The exploitation of Africa. Slavery. Yes, every generation of the oppressors will change the name. All right, but the ideology remains the same. The ideology remains the same. Yes, yes, beat down Africa and the African people. Make them look less than humans. Make them hate themselves. So they be fighting and be distracted when the mineral resources are being exploited and taken away, remanufactured and brought back to the African people to buy at higher costs. Now, before we continue, I welcome everybody. I welcome everybody to this show. I welcome everybody to this show. I welcome people from TikTok. I welcome those from Facebook. I welcome those from YouTube. Thank you. Quite frankly, I must be very honest, I don't like doing live shows on Facebook anymore because Facebook has been stealing from me. They do all kinds of advertisement off of my broadcast, but I'm not getting paid for it. It's not about the money. I don't even care. The reason why I'm still doing live shows on Facebook is because of my people. I have a lot of followers there. And if you look, you are from Nigeria, you are from Africa, you know how everything is screwed up. They don't give them the type of access we have to the internet that we have here in the United States, where everything is liberalized. For a set fee, you get the services. They don't turn it off and back. They don't tell you about data. When it is unlimited data, it is unlimited data. But the people there, they exploit them. Yes, why are they exploiting them? Because of the bad governments we have all over Africa that allow rogue corporations from outside, especially from Europe, to come and exploit our people. So they tell them data. No, they don't have enough data to watch. The truth that we need to liberate Africa is what a lot of us are bringing to the fore for the people. But sadly again, there's an obstacle, the data obstacle. So people are not able to jump in like Americans are jumping in now, watching this show. People from Africa are not able to jump in the way they ought to do, so that they will enjoy the benefit of listening to the truth about what happened to their continent. So they say Facebook is cheaper for them. That is why I am continuing to do my live shows on Facebook. I've had so many bitter experiences with Facebook that truly I want to delete my account on Facebook. I don't want to deal with Facebook. YouTube is good, it's okay. And TikTok has proven to be okay. People are more accessible there. But Facebook, well, they say it's cheaper for them for data. So that is why I'm giving it to them. So that what is important to me is the message. So my viewers, my watchers, my followers on Facebook, you are the reason I'm still doing Facebook. Otherwise, I'm done with Facebook because of what happened in 2019. I brought about what France was doing in Africa, especially in Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and all that. When I brought it, people thought I was joking. I was the one who broke the news about that France was part of Boko Haram. That once masterminding Boko Haram, to destabilize that Sahel region. And they have successfully done that. So when I brought it out, when the first time I did a live show on it, within an hour, over 60,000 views. So that offended some people. My Facebook account was closed. Yeah, for no just cause. I did not violate anything. I always spoke the truth. But years after, the whole world has come to a realization that indeed France was culpable. And then they were handsomely rewarded with expulsion by Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, and now Chad. And I believe more will come. More will come. More expulsion from France, for France, and the Imperial European Corporation. I've seen Africa as an empire for them to come and do whatever they want unchallenged. They hate it to be challenged. So this is what we are talking about. This crisis Africans are suffering, the problems we have had, is a generational crisis. Their ancestors started it. They came with the Bible in their hands. Yeah, lying to us about God. God we knew, very well. Yes, our way may not have been the perfect ways. We were not allowed to develop So our development was fractured. And then they fractured us and channeled us their own way. Their own way as inferior people. Here who will continue to struggle and learn and learn and learn. The learning has never been over. Now the question is, when are we going to graduate from this imperial European university without end? When we cannot do anything for ourselves. They reduce us. They reduced us to beggars. Every time Africa is in needy, we are begging, cap in hand. But everything that drives their economy, the economies they get from Africa, we get it. Over 45% of the earth's resources reside in Mother Africa. Yes, they incapacitated us mentally. They make us to think so inferior, so low about ourselves. And they make us to hate one another. Every time there's war everywhere in Africa. War, 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 war. That got to stop. And that is why we are asking this question. When will Africa and the African people be free? If not now. When will Africa and the African people be free? If not this second. Yes. I remind you, Africans, I remind you, the black people, it doesn't matter where you are, in the United States, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in South Africa, Sierra Leone, Egypt, Canada, Kuwait, wherever you are on earth, I remind you. Remember what Peter said, no matter where you come from, as long as you are a black man, you are an African. Yes. All right? You are an African. And you know, the problem is the same everywhere. And it's a mind thing. And that is why Marcus Garvey, in his time, he spoke to the African mind, telling him, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. Because none but yourselves, none but ourselves can free our mind. That was the word. Those were the words of Marcus Mosiah Garvey that Bob Marley put into song, Redemption Song, one of the last acts he performed before he went to Zion in 1981. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Oh! Have no fear for atomic energy, because none of that can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing the song of freedom? Yet all I ever heard, redemption song. You see, those are not throwaway words. Those are spiritual words. Very powerful. They were spiritually orchestrated to wake up the black man. Marcus Mosiah Garvey was a descendant of slaves brought from Africa to the Caribbean. And as early as the age 18, he already started asking questions about the origins of his ancestors. He was spiritually woken up, and he started speaking, and he started organizing. He moved to the United States and started organizing. He built a 6 million strong black man movement that started demanding for respect and dignity for the black man. Yes, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Call him the Black Moses. Yes, he orchestrated it spiritually. He started speaking. And by the early 1900s, his message was going everywhere. he encountered some young Africans who came to the United States to go to school. The likes of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the likes of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Yes, those had the opportunity of hearing his voice, reading his writings. There was no Facebook at the time. There was no TikTok at the time. There was no YouTube. There was no Instagram. There was no X. There was nothing. But that did not stop him. And the people were hungering for freedom. Yes. Inspiration met determination. He organized until the world started hearing him. Black people all over the world started hearing him. Those who came to school here went back with the voice, the message of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and started demanding for independence and the decolonization of their various enclaves that were colonies. Yes, the power of voice, the power of spirituality, the power of determination. Now, let me ask you, in this generation, you have Facebook, you have YouTube, you have TikTok, you have WhatsApp, you have Instagram, you have LinkedIn, and you have all these social media platforms with which you can reach the world in just a second. Now, the question is, what are you doing with them? Especially as it affects the urgency to unite the African people for the last fight for their liberation. Marcus Garvey started it. Kwame Nkrumah, Modibo Keita, Sekou Toure, Nnamdi Azikiwe. Yes. Jomo Kenyatta, Julius Nyerere, Kenneth Kaunda, Augusto Neto, Amilcar Cabral. They all pushed it. And they became a source of nausea to those whose interests were threatened in Africa. And they recruited fellow Africans to start ousting them. Remember the story, what happened to the young man in Congo, Patrice Lumumba, 1961. Great Pan-Africanist who stood up against King Leopold of Belgium. After Belgium destroyed 12 million Congolese. 12 million Congolese. I think I'm being moderate with the figure. Some books say 15 million. 12 million Congolese were massacred by little Belgium. Belgium is not even the size of my hometown in Nigeria. Yes, they came, massacred Congolese, took over their minerals. At independence, this young man, Patrice Lumumba, the first democratically elected president of Congo, was asking questions, and they did not like it. What did they do? They recruited Mr. Schomburg, who later changed his name to Mobutu Sese Seko. They killed him. They took him to Belgium. They dissolved his body. The people who are telling us about human rights today, they dissolved his body in concentrated acid. They melted him. He melted. As if killing him was not enough. They soaked his body into concentrated acid. Now, what right do these people have to tell us about human rights that they did not give us? They did not give our ancestors. What right do they have to tell us about human rights? What right do they have to tell us about democracy and how we should lead ourselves? Yes. That's what they did to Patrice Lumumba. In Ghana, they raised the General Kotoka. Yes. Kwame Nkrumah was on his way out to an international engagement. He heard about his overthrow in the air. They put General Kotoka in Ghana as their puppet. In Congo, they had Mobutu. All right? In Guinea, where they had Sékou Touré, they were troubling Sékou Touré. Sékou Touré refused to sign French extension of colonialism. What did French do? France. The leaders of France. I don't want to generalize. All French people are not bad people. Their political leadership, their elites. They destroyed all the infrastructures that they had built in France. They destroyed the sewer system and left that country worse than they met it. Yes. They did the same thing in Mali with Modibo Keita in charge. He refused to sign. They had success with the Houphouët-Boigny in Ivory Coast that they call it Côte d'Ivoire right now. Yes, he was a big puppet there. All right? And they did this. They made sure that Nigeria never got it together. They made sure. They made sure that Nigeria, that was touted as the giant of Africa, never took off. The independence of Nigeria was like one of the biggest jokes in Africa. Those who challenged the British authority, those who challenged the British colonialists, were denied access to becoming the leaders of Nigeria. Who did they hand over power to? They handed power to those who did nothing to ask them for independence. Those who delayed the agitation for Nigeria's independence on 2 consecutive times, that they were not ready. Unknown to the rest of Nigeria, they were cooking something with the British people. The chains that we have right now, the shackles the whole of Nigeria is in now, that we must break right now. Because I believe that breaking the Nigerian shackle will break the shackle over the whole of Africa. Yes. They made sure that Nigeria never took off. 6 years after, the country was up in flames, sponsored by British or Britain, against one ethnic group. Yes. The most enterprising ethnic group in Nigeria. The only ethnic group that will go to everywhere in Nigeria to assert their Nigerianness. The ethnic group whose people will go to any locality and build homes there, build businesses there, employ the locals there, grow the local economies. Yes, and be part of everything that the locals do, because they believe in Nigeria. They massacred 6 million of them. The worst human tragedy to date in Africa, for which no one has been held accountable. Yeah, that's the story of Nigeria. Nigeria is a setback to Africa because of the way it is structured. That system, Nigerian system, is what we must break. But I'm happy now that the people of Nigeria are beginning to see the light. And I believe that in no time, that the chain of Nigeria will be broken. And when the chain of Nigeria is broken, Africa will be unleashed. Yes, in line with the vision of Africa's founding father, led by Kwame Nkrumah, Emperor Haile Selassie, Modibo Keita, Sekou Toure, Abdel Nasser, yes, Julius Nyerere, Kenneth Kaunda, yes, Amilcar Cabral, yes, Abdel Nasser, and the rest of them. Yes, Africa will be unleashed. But one obstacle is Nigeria. We must do something about Nigeria, and very urgently too. Nigerians are very enterprising people, but they have been punished by tragedy of leadership. They have been punished by the divisive leaders. They have been punished by those who come with religious nationalism and religious tribal nationalism. They have been punished by those who don't love the country. Yes, and that is what must die right now. So the British gave power to those whose ancestors invaded Hausa land in 1804, and they call it jihad. But their jihad was nothing to do with God. Their jihad was underlined by economics. It was underlined by the quest for power, and it was underlined by finance and the control of economic resources. No God content in it. No Allah content in it. So at independence, when the country became a nation state, they brought that baggage with the Hausa people in their cage. They told them that they were one and the same in Allah and Islam, while robbing them, raping them. They shadowed them. They are the overwhelming majority in the north of Nigeria, if not the entire country. But the Hausa people have a commanding population demography in the whole of West Africa. Yes, they are the most populous ethnic group in the whole of Africa. But in Nigeria, they are subjugated. As we stand today, this is the 221st year of the Fulani subjugation of the Hausa people. Now tell me that the Hausa people don't need to be free. If the Hausa people are not free, Nigeria will never be free. That's why I'm telling you, those who are talking about democracy in Nigeria, you are undermining. You are not looking at the pathway to it. You are joking. It's not going to happen. It was what the British created, and that's what they wanted. And they have a dual relationship. They have a relationship with the fake sovereign Nigeria, but they have a very deep relationship with the oligarchs, the Fulani oligarchs, holding Nigeria hostage since 65 years ago. You know, Nigeria celebrate. Did they celebrate? I didn't celebrate. But I'm a die-hard Nigerian patriot. Yes. The country turned 65. They say it's independence. I don't even know what the meaning of independence means to an African country, especially Nigeria. Independence, and the mass of people are poor. There's no electricity. There's no hospital. The educational system is crashed. Nothing is working. Infrastructure. You know, you need to go to travel on Nigeria. Forget about the lies these idiots holding Nigeria hostage on their behalf. It's lying to the world. You go, take a trip to Nigeria and see what is going on. Go. First of all, you pay so much to secure yourself. All right? Because kidnappers and everywhere. Yeah, I am not demarketing my country. I'm a true patriot. That's why I have this on, to underscore that I am not a joke. Yes, true patriots stand up to the evil in their country. And what is taking place now? Everybody has acquiesced to this evil in Nigeria because They abuse the Nigerian army, the armed forces, to hold down the people, to beat them down, to shoot them. Yes. And who controls the army? The British control Fulani elites. So that is the situation in Nigeria. We cannot get it right for Africa until Nigeria is set free. Yes, that is why. That is why you see the way things are. Nigerians are more, it is easier for a Nigerian to leave, to run away from Nigeria. Yes, the young people are trooping out of Nigeria. And it is not an accident. It was created, to drive the people of Nigeria away so that they can occupy Nigeria. And the vacuum that they have created, the youth migration, very dangerous youth migration outside Nigeria, is scary. And now, you know what? They are bringing mercenaries from across West Africa. Yes, to occupy the vacuum created in villages and towns, little towns in Nigeria. Everywhere you go, they have circled the country. And if care is not taken, as I believe, it will be in no distant time, they will say, yeah, let us take over. They will walk over. And this is a little, very minute group of people manipulating a country of over 250 million people. Yes. So tell me, if you are Nigerian listening to me now, tell me why you should not stand up for Nigeria. Tell me why you believe in the ADC coalition, driven by the same people who are masterminding terrorism, the same people who are masterminding the sweet what they call banditry. But it's the same people, it's terrorism. When it goes down south of the country, it becomes banditry. It makes it look like it's an armed robbery thing. But they are occupying farmlands. They are imposing taxations on local farmers. They are raping our women. They are killing and selling human parts. Yes, they sell kidneys. They sell livers. They're selling hearts. So they have a market for everything. The country called Nigeria is under siege. And when Nigeria is under siege, Africa is under siege. Yes, because of the massive population of Nigeria. Nigeria is too massive. And then you go to places now. Nigerians now have become allergens in fellow African countries because of the way they are migrating in droves into those countries, stressing the systems there. You hear about xenophobia against Nigerians in South Africa. No, if everything was all right, Nigerians will not move to South Africa. Nigerians will not move when they are not professional. Like me, I was invited when I went to South Africa. I was given a job right from Nigeria before I left. I did not just migrate because I needed to run away. Yes, the same thing with my coming here. I got a job here from South Africa, and then I came here to the United States. But that is not the type of migration we are seeing. What we are seeing, migration, escape from the hell Nigeria has become because of the country's tragedy of leadership. Yes, you see the dilemma, the problem of Africa. So if you're an African, especially West African, don't think it is Uhuru in your country if you are not already feeling the heat. You see, the other day, Ghanaians were protesting, asking Nigerians to leave their country. That is not supposed to be. That was contrary to the vision of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah for the whole of Africa. Remember, at independence, he said it. He said the independence of Ghana meant nothing unless and until the whole of Africa is independent and free. That visionary had a huge vision beyond the small Ghana. He understood. He came here as a student to the United States. He saw and he went. He returned to start the agitation for the decolonization of the whole of Africa, not just Ghana. So he said it. Emperor Haile Selassie, yes, Kwame Nkrumah and Emperor Haile Selassie wanted a quick move towards the unification of the whole of Africa at the time. Why? Because we are one people. Why are we so fractured? They brought colonialism, all right, after their Berlin Conference in 1884 and 1885, when they sailed a sail to come and take over Africa. After they created spheres of influence. Germany had sphere of influence. France, Britain, Portugal, Spain, and all of that. Yes. Look at this little European continent. They came and jumped on a huge, massive, about the biggest continent on earth, Africa. Yes. What did they do to the people? You know, if you look at the history, from the history I gathered from Nigeria, pictorial, pictures, how when they came, they were carrying them. Our people were carrying white people on their shoulders so that their legs will not touch the ground. And you know how humans are. They took advantage of that and subjugated the people and made them look like they are trash. And that mental slavery has not completely left us. It is very much with us. Yes, that inferiority complex, that we are inferior, though I am not. And I'm calling you on you watching me for a black man, you are not inferior. If you choose to continue to feel that way after hearing my voice, then that is your problem. Not my problem. Not because you have not been told. You are not inferior. You are one in the side, in the face, in the eyes of the Almighty. And guess what? The black man was the first and the only man that the Almighty God put his hand together to create. Yes, every other race came out of the black man. Every other race, including the races that have continually subjugated the black man, came out of the black man. Every race has its roots in Africa. We were the first. And now we are calling, this is the moment, historic moment of taking over, recovering who we are, getting back here to who we are. God, the Almighty, who made man, the only man he made was African man. Every other person that came was from Africa. He gave the African man knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But what happened to the African? Yes. Some people come and want to use their Bible to justify that God caused African or God caused the black man. That is not true. They brought this fake story of Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And then our pastors in the fake churches now hammer this, and they continue to become the weapon that is holding our people down. Yes, I tell you, dump that story. It's not true. We refuse. We are so naive. That was why. We lost our moral compass. The African man lost his moral compass. And that is what we must regain. And that is what we must do right now. It is time for us to question ourselves. Yes, it's time for us to question ourselves. We've been to schools here, in Britain, everywhere. When we are in the class, we count tops. They don't see our backs. But when we go home to Africa, motherland, we are like fish out of the water. Why? Because they have this generational colonial legacy. The foundation on which they stand. Every generation stands on it. They will give it a new name to make it more appealing. They don't call it slavery anymore. But the truth is that it is slavery. It is what it is. All right? Slavery was the first. The second was colonialism. All right? That sounds pretty cool, right? Colonialism. We colonize them, right? You know what colonialism means? Colonialism means slavery in your own environment. You don't have rights. And They make you subservient. Yes, sir, they teach you, they tell you, they say they teach you manners. Our own, everything about us, they make it look bad. They tell you, kill your ancestors, destroy everything about your ancestors. They came and built churches. All right? Oh, your ancestor. But come here. You see monuments that are like 500 years old. They turn it into tourist attraction. Even Africans go there to take pictures. Yes, the same thing in Britain, the same thing in Portugal, the same thing in Spain. What is wrong with us? Now, when you meet an African preacher, an African pastor, all right, let me tell you now. Yeah, when you meet them, African pastor, what is he going to tell you first? Oh, generational curse, ancestral curse. We have to banish it. Now, they don't understand the story of Jesus Christ. Do they know that Jesus was African? Yes, the story of Jesus Christ that was taken away from the African people, commercialized. Yes, commercialized and politicized, and then put it in a print and brought it back for us to use it to suppress us. Do they practice what they preach? No, they don't. They don't. We are so stupid. Then you come and be digging up everything that your ancestors left behind. You destroy them. Now, you know what? You lose your compass. That is why we have been so confused. We don't even know who we are. The same thing the Arabs did. Theirs was even worse. The Arabs came. For 700 years, 700 years, the Arabs enslaved the African people. 700 years of slavery. 700 solid years of slavery in the hands of the Arabs. Do the Arabs still love Africans? Are they not still discriminating against them? And you know one sad thing that they did during their slavery of the African people? They castrated every male slave, every African male slave for 700 years was castrated. Yeah, that we run into billions of testicles, of African testicles. Yes, that they castrated. Yes. The Arabs, what they did to Africans. And then they gave us Islam. All right? I am not condemning. I'm telling you history. So if you like, go and start asking questions. Because some of these religions, they make it impossible for you to question them. Because they use it as a hammer to shut you up. So you won't question them. But they who are giving it to you, they're not practicing the same thing. It's like Chinese, who will cook a Chinese restaurant here. And they don't eat what they are cooking. They don't eat what they serve the people. They eat something different. Because there's a difference between commercial and what they eat for themselves. That's how wicked this whole world is. Africans are so nice. Our niceness led us where we are. It's okay to be nice. Now what I'm saying is that let us open our eyes. There's nothing wrong with opening our eyes. So that is why we are sending this message now. You hear Professor Patrick Lumumba is preaching. All right, Julius Malema from South Africa is preaching. I am preaching here, and many more people. And thank God for Captain Ibrahim Traore. Yes, you know when you have them as leaders, it makes the job easier. Yes, that one is occupying a place with a state power to advance the cause for Africa and the African people. And this is the reason why every black man on the surface of this earth must pray for him, must support him, must stand up for him whenever they shook him. Like what we all united to do when France tried all that they could, and they are still trying to find a way to oust him so that they can return to that country. So the whole of Africa for once stood up to say enough is enough. I want to see Africans standing for Nigeria, and Nigeria to say enough is enough. What we have in Nigeria is not a reflection of the will of the people of Nigeria. It's not. It's not. They are not. Nigeria is a country right now in the hands of rogues. Not just the Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Rogues round and round. Rogues in the National Assembly. Rogues as state governors. Rogues as a council chairman. Rogues as councillors. Yes, rogues in the state assemblies. rogues in the judiciary. Yes, Nigeria is under siege. And then on top of that, criminals, rogues, terrorists, driving the people north. In the whole of northeast of Nigeria, I'm telling you, that whole place there's no government taking place. They pretend that everything is all right. Nothing is all right. Our armed forces have been destroyed. Buhari made that possible. The armed forces have been shaky since 1966. But Buhari came with state power as a head of state. He recruited the Boko Haram terrorists into our country's armed forces. He called them repented for terrorists. Do terrorists repent? Somebody who has killed, somebody who has bombed people, you brought them into the army, not just bringing them into the army. He gave them command and control positions in the army, and they work to set up ambushes for those who are truly soldiers that they periodically will set up for destruction. Yes, that is why the armed forces of Nigeria cannot fight. They lack the cohesion to fight. They lack the determination to fight. Because there is no clear-cut leadership. And that is how sad the country called Nigeria has gotten. But before I proceed, there's a cheering news from the Hausa people in Nigeria. The people who have been subjugated for 221 years. They have seen the light. And now we send the light. Hey, stand up for your right. Did you hear? Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. One more time. Get up, stand up. Yeah. Don't give up the fight. Hey, preacher man, don't tell me that your heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what right is really what. It's not all that glitters, it's gold. Half the stories they never told us, and now we've seen your light. Children, stand up for your right. Awusa, get up, stand up. Did you hear? Stand up for your right. One more time, yeah. Get up, stand up. Whoa, don't give up the fight. All right, hey, TikTok, thank you for all those that are following me right now. Please follow. You will hear the truth. We want to unite the people of Nigeria. We want to unite the people of Africa. Yes, we want to come to the world as people who have now realized who they are and want to stand in the face of the world and look at the world eyeball to eyeball. Yes. They say United Nations. Formed in 1945. After the end of the Second World War. Second World War, they say Second World War. I don't know why it's actually Second World War. They don't create no war. But Africans were at the tick of the center because some of the European countries could not find people to fight for them, especially France. Africans went there to fight the war for them. A lot of Africans died in those wars. Yes. First and Second World War. All right, when that war, they claim it ended. It was a tribal war. Some factions among Europeans were fighting. They call it World War. All right? And whenever they are fighting, they make it look global. Okay? So, they fought the World War. The Buffalo Soldiers were from Africa. Okay? So, they formed the United Nations. It was championed the effort of the United States. The League of Nations. All right, later they changed the name to make it look more appealing. And they set up institutions. All right, they set up, what they thought would help drive. There was this lofty objective of associated with the formation of the United Nations, to solve global problems. Now tell me, since 1945 to 2025, what have they solved? They may have solved problems in other countries. They may have solved problems in their own countries, their European countries, but they have not solved anything in Africa. the situation in Africa has serially, progressively gotten worse. Africa, Africa is not led by those that the people of Africa would want to be their leaders. Africa is led by their puppets. So when their puppets are in charge, it is okay for them. All right, and that is why they reduce Africa to a continent where they can come and take mineral resources. That's all. To build their economies, to develop their nuclear programs, to expand opportunity for their people, and everything is fine. Schools are working great. Everything is working right. But Africa is in darkness. Africa is in hunger. Africa is in wars at all fronts. Not because they want to, yes, because they have to create that war in order to continue to aid the depopulation of Africa, the decimation of Africa, and sometimes they pause it and say, okay, the war is over, and now we come, and then we can help you rebuild your infrastructures. Now, when they come, who pays? It is we, the African people. It is from our resources that they pay, all right? And they will take as much as they want. There's no way for the African people to quantify and then qualify to say, okay, this is how much you must take. No, they come and continue to take. They manipulate the people. They bring puppets as leaders. And can you imagine somebody like Paul Biya, who has been president of Cameroon since 1982, when I left high school. That's some 40-something years ago. Yeah, he has been the president of Cameroon. Today, he's 94 years old. And you know what? He's still running. And it's okay by France, because they are able to fleece the country with him. Now, with all that is taking place in Africa right now, the rebellion, I don't know why Cameroonians, what is wrong? What's up, Cameroonians? Really, what's up? Seriously, what's up? We are not even seeing any kind of movement in Cameroon. Like, they hold down the Cameroonians really hard. They pin them so hard. And, at least there are some movements in Nigeria. We are not seeing that kind of movement in Cameroon. What's going on? Anyway, so that's what they want for Africa. So give them the puppets. All right? Pauperize them. Okay? And then they'll come. And, we have to budget. Every country budgets. Everybody wants to help Africa. They are hungry. Oh, they are needy. And then NGOs will live here. They evade taxes here in the United States. They collect money from poor Americans who have passion, who love Africa, and not because of policies of anybody. But when they put the pictures of poor Africans, hungry young children in Africa on the TV, they started, contributing money. This money ends up in private pockets. Now they will take off. Come land, for instance, in Nigeria. They go, always their destination is the north of Nigeria. They know what they are doing. Yes, they know what they are doing. They go to the north of Nigeria. They go to somewhere in Somalia. They will go to somewhere in Kenya. They will arraign these children with flies all over their mouths. And they give the impression that that is what the whole of Africa is about. And then they use it to blackmail Americans, for instance, emotionally, into giving them. They give them money. And they come. They bring all those pictures. Maybe just buy a few bags of rice and beans. They are fed Africans. And then the rest of the money is in their pocket. They bring them back to the United States and then start living life. And that's why I loved what President Trump did with the US aid. But I don't think it was far-reaching. Some of those NGOs from the United States who go to Africa to commit all these crimes, they need to be investigated and punished, for their abuse, for their crimes against humanity. That's the same thing the Europeans are doing, yes. And on top of that, they are setting up labs to do a lot of unwholesome things that the Africans don't understand. Like, for instance, Bill Gates will walk into Nigeria, goes to the boardroom of the presidency of Nigeria to sell them nonsense. He's not wanted here. Nobody wants Bill Gates here. He's trying to sell them genetically modified food so that we become donkeys and idiots. We have the best agricultural system that we should improve. We don't need fertilizers in Africa. We don't need. Africa has a very fertile soil. Why are we needing fertilizer from anywhere? We don't need maize from here. We have organic maize. Why are we eating genetically modified food? And very soon, because of those, especially Nigeria, that will accept this crap, the population will start dying like they're already dying. Yes, they start getting crazy and start, developing different type of diseases that have no cure. Just the same way they damage our Niger Delta, environmental pollution, yes, environmental degradation. So we have a lot of problems. Yes, and a great part of Nigeria, our African problem is in Nigeria. If Nigeria zooms off, Africa will rise. Nigeria is not providing the type of leadership that will take Africa away from darkness. Yes, yes. Now I'm going to read a few things from people who are commenting. It's a lot a lot of reading. So those guys have made a lot of. Oh my God, this is a lot. All right, now let's take say Pokemon. Thank you very much. Watching the Hawks. Okay, my greetings. Thank you very much. Watching the Hawks. How are you? Yeah, black people we never be free. No, I disagree with you. Black people will be free. And you and I, if you're a black man, I hope you're not giving up. I'm not giving up. We will inspire a new generation of black people. And our liberation is now. And it's actually nearer than we think. Yes, I know we can say some of those things out of frustration. But remember, like Bob Marley said, if you get down and you quarrel every day, you say in prayers to the devil, I say, yeah. Why not help one another on the way? Make it much easier. Come on, let's profess positively. Let's not be negative. Yes, our negativity has been the reason people come and jump on us and get away with it. We must do our problem. We have to do in-house cleaning in Africa. Starting from Nigeria, we must do in-house cleaning. In-house cleaning. So that is why we exist. So when you get this message, as you are getting this message, share it with a brother African. Share it with a sister African. Look at where you are right now. I don't care where you are. You live in Africa, you live in America, you live in Canada, you live in China, you live everywhere. Ask yourself a question. One simple question. Africa consumes everything. All right? What is Africa? What is Africa giving? Okay, now let me ask. It's not like we cannot give. We have so much. We are giving only raw materials. That makes me sick. Why are we giving raw materials? Why are we not giving processed, finished goods? Because the criminals come from their countries, take from us. They don't build factories in our land that will create employment for our teeming population of young people. They take everything away from us, go build factories, build a system in their countries, provide job opportunities for their people, and then bring whatever they produce for us to consume. So the era of consumption should end. That is what we are saying. And then let us open a new page of productivity. They made us so lazy. Yes, they made us so lazy that we cannot do anything for ourselves. So I disagree with you. Black people will be free unless you are not a black man. If you are not a black man, I don't want to curse. Yeah, but if you're a black man, be positive. Freedom is here, and freedom is never free. You got to fight for it. We have to fight for it now. And the younger generation right now have an uphill task. They must wake up for themselves, wake up for Africa, wake up for the future of Africa, wake up for their own generation, wake up for their children. And that's what this whole message is about. All right. You say black people will never be. Black people are already becoming free. All right. Arab have oil, but no substantial good result. This time will be difficult for black people because Arab Anglo-Saxon alliance has been merged. Their target is Africa. How can Africa be free? Well, my brother, if I now understand where you are coming from, you are not African. Don't be so frustrated. Don't be. That is why we should work now. So what you are feeling should inspire you to join us, join hands with the rest of us. It can be done. If they could gather in Berlin in 1884 and 1885, it's not the whole of Europe that gathered. It's not every citizen of Europe that gathered. Some people, yes, some people led by Chancellor Bismarck. Yes, 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 led by Chancellor Bismarck. They came together. They brainstormed. Europe is in trouble. European Industrial Revolution that decided to become a global emergency. They asked themselves, how do we solve this problem in Europe? They saw Africa, yes, as a solution to their problem. And then they went to work. They drew up blueprints for the colonization of Africa. Did you hear that? They put a blueprint together to colonize Africa. After the blueprint was ready, they went and drew a map of Africa. Britain said, okay, I will take this portion. France said, I will take this portion. Spain said, I will take this portion. Portugal had its own portion. Yes. And the rest of them. Germany tried. I don't think, they didn't have a lot of success. I know Germany came to somewhere in Cameroon. That's the area that says English Cameroon right now. All right, the Italians tried Ethiopia. It didn't work. So they went back. But the biggest culprits, Britain, France, Portugal, and Spain, they were the biggest culprits, especially Britain and France. They had a huge chunk of Africa. So they came together. After they got their map, they started moving in. Now, how are we going to proceed? The missionaries moved first. They came in the name of Jesus Christ. They came with the Bible, calling on our people to repent, condemning their practices as idolatry. All right? And then they replaced everything. And they made us hate everything about ourselves. Our ancestors now started seeing. They created their school. If you want to enslave people, give them the wrong education. They gave us a wrong education. They educated us to be who we are not. They educated us to start wearing suit and tie. We are not, that's not who we are. They educated us to be idiots. They educated us to be inferior. They educated us to be subservient. They educated us to say yes to everything they say. Even if they are killing our people, we agreed that it was okay. That's the type of education we have. And that is why we are suffering. It's a mental problem, mental disease. It's in the mind. We have to stamp it out. But to stamp it out requires courage. To stamp it out requires the type of leadership with a clear understanding about where they are taking their people. We have never had the benefit of having that. Maybe perhaps we have one now in Burkina Faso, but we have never had any in Nigeria. We had one in Ghana through Kwame Nkrumah. We had one in Ethiopia, Emperor Haile Selassie. We had one in Guinea, Sekou Toure. We had one in Tanzania. Yes. Yes. We had one in Kenya. Yes. Julius Nyerere was in Tanzania. We had one in Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda. We had one in Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe. Call him a demon. Call him a Satan. You know why? They made us hate him. They made us believe that he was the problem. No, he wasn't the problem. The only thing he did wrong was ask them a question. They agreed to redistribute land after the end of apartheid in Zimbabwe. When the time came for them to do their own part of the deal, they reneged. And then trouble started when he asked them a question, why? I want to do it now, my way. And as the president of Zimbabwe, he started the process of land redistribution. Why should 1% of the population, why should 1% who are not Zimbabweans actually, organically, yes, because their ancestors came there to take over the land, why should they control the lands in there? Why do the black people not have a right to own lands and own farms there? That was where Mugabe's problem started from. And what did they do? They started as usual. They bring the weapon of sanction, all right, because of one man that they don't like. They put the whole people in danger. They starve them. They take off their food, the access to purchase. They destroy the country's currency and to demonize him. And the people started hating him. And then how did he end? He ended right in a coup. Okay? That's what they do. Yeah. But thank God, it looks like African people have at least wisened up a little bit. That was what they were about to do with Traore. And that was what they were about to do with Tiani in Niger. Azimi in Mali. Yes. All right? Yes. So we have to wake up. So they demonize good African leaders for asking questions. You know Samora Machel, the first president of Mozambique. How did they knock him out? In the mid-air, because he was challenging their apartheid infrastructure in South Africa. They blew him up in the mid-air. Yes. Tell me where Mozambique is today. Mozambique has become hell. All right? So that's what they do. They will bring sanctions. They put the people under pressure to hate their leaders, the ones that are actually out to do good for them. So this is the reason why Africa must be independent. And this is the reason why Africa must be free. And this is the reason why not just only me should be asking for it. And the people of Africa must be conscious enough to demand. So the thing is that if they could organize in Berlin, a few people did that. It's not the whole of Europe. They organized. They had a mission. They had a vision. They put machineries into actualizing their vision. And it worked for them. They successfully colonized Africa for as long as they did. And I'm not sure they are out. If they were out, Africa would have been a lot better now. They are still there. They operate now with their puppets. Yes, puppets who will allow them to do anything. Puppets who will set up their countries for destruction, like Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing in Nigeria. Yes. So that's all over the continent. You'll find them. Yes. So in Ivory Coast, they have Alassane Ouattara, all right, destroying Ivory Coast. And they are using him to cause trouble in Burkina Faso. In Cameroon, it's Paul Biya. And elsewhere, there are many of them. So this is why we need more Traores. Many more Traores. Many Traores. For us to get Africa off the chains. So if we continue to express negativity, yes, we are not going to get anywhere. So I'm a Rasta man. Rastas convert frustrations into inspiration. So the only thing we can do, if we, the people of Africa, unite and say we have had enough, there's nothing an outsider will do. They will bow to our demand. What is the greatest problem is we are divided. Look at Nigeria, for instance. Inside Nigeria is so divided. They can't come together. Why? Because there are some with Arab interests, like in the north. The fake Sultan of Sokoto. He wants us Nigerians to behave as if we are Arabs. We can't. And there are some who will work with him for the money that they will get. Corruption. And the mass unconsciousness of our people is contributing. And they use the army to scare the people. But I tell them, and I tell our people, no force on earth can stop a determined people who want to change their destiny or the course of their destiny. And that is where we are right now. We must make that move. So if they could organize and take over Africa, we could organize to reverse the damage that they have done. And it starts with me and you. I hope, my brother watching Hawk, I hope you understand it. Yes, still keep your FB, but I stopped using FB for years now. I agree with you. I keep Facebook because of my followers. Facebook is bullshit. Facebook has demonstrated. I want them to even block my account now if they can hear me. Yeah, they are corrupt. They are more after money now. They work with the fake African leaders to silence the dissenting voices. That's what Zuckerberg has been doing. It's a terrible. I pray that Facebook will be a thing of the past. Hopefully, something sooner, maybe by an African will come and take over, so that that's a part of the strategic reason, strategic vision Africans should develop your own social media, so that you don't need anybody to come and tell you how much data you are going to be using and how long you are going to be on it. All right, black people are not humans based on Anglo-Saxon definition. Yes, I am not worried. Hey, don't worry. No, it's only you who can define yourself for who you are. It is when you allow people define you, then you got that it sinks. It becomes a problem. Nobody can tell me who I am. Yes, I am here every day. I've been around the world. You can't tell me who I am. I know who I am. Yes, I am who I am. I'm not going to allow you to define me. So never allow anyone to define you. Africans, stop allowing others to define you. Define yourselves. Unite. Start. It's not late. Start small. Start from your family. Bring friends together. And that is how it becomes a mighty force. We want to build a force. Yes, a force of conscious people. That's the only thing that's going to save us. We don't care about how anybody says, whatever anybody thinks about us. What's happening in Sierra Leone? Tell me more. It's the same story. Bad, stupid leaders. Yes. All right. Hey, yes. Thank you very much. 24. I appreciate that. Yes. And if you are here listening to this broadcast, do us a favor. Like, share, comment. Let us hear your opinion. We will appreciate your likes. And the reason is, when you like what we are doing, truly from your heart, if you like what we are doing, it doesn't take you but a second to push that button like. And what it does, it brings our message to the YouTube or TikTok algorithm, and they will continue to share our message, and then we continue to reach more people. So please, like our message, share our message, comment on them. That will help, generate the buzz around what we are doing. We sincerely appreciate. All right, Catholic Church now control DRC. They gave us church, but not industries. And it's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. Me, I don't go to church. I don't care about church. I believe in the Almighty God. That's what I know. But I don't have to go to any church to go before anybody. God did not tell anybody to build any church for him. Not anything. He didn't tell them to build any mosque. He didn't tell them to build churches. He didn't tell anyone to build any mosque. The construction of churches and mosques are the creation of man who wants to control other men. So that's just what it is. But if you have a heart, you see, God is in your heart, right here. If you have a heart, you can listen. If you have a heart, your heart is connected to your ears. Now, how do you know where God is, the Holy Spirit is? You know when you are about to do something wrong. Something is going to tell you what you are about to do is wrong. There comes the Almighty God. There comes Holy Spirit. Well, church is for socialization. People derive pleasure in going there. But I don't go there to waste my time, because I don't believe that there is God in the church or the mosque. God is everywhere. How you relate with him is what matters. I relate very well with him. Everything that I do has the God factor in it. And he shows me every day how much he's involved in what I do. So that is it. You don't have to go to church. But that's my own. I don't go. If you like, continue to go. I don't have any problem with that. But what I'm trying to tell you as an African, as a human being, is that you know that you have a basic human rights. Your right to your life, right to choice, right to freedom of expression, right to freedom of association, right to a relationship with whatever you say is God, and right to self-determination. Yes, right to self-determination. And all these rights are sacrosanct, and they are only given by the Almighty God and not by man. And that is why those who came to colonize us failed so woefully. Now, they didn't teach us right then. After they have taken more than enough, they have built up their countries, they come and tell us democracy, they come and tell us about basic human rights, without atoning for their sins in the past. Millions of our ancestors that they destroyed, millions of children that they destroyed, they don't talk about that. They must come clean with apologies and reparation for what they did to Africa before we start talking. Otherwise, they are wasting time. Now, by the way, the United Nations, I'm happy with how President Donald Trump tongue-lashed. It's a useless, the most useless organization on earth. It's not serving any purpose. An organization that is afraid of democratization. Why do we have a United Nations that has only 5 permanent Security Council members? And who do they speak for? They are not speaking for me as an African. I am not sure they are speaking for people from other continents. Who the hell are they speaking for? They don't represent me. They don't understand the pain I feel as an African. They don't understand the subjugation the Hausa people are going through, have been going through since the past 221 years. They don't understand that there are more killings going on right now in Nigeria than there is going on in Gaza. More Nigerians are being murdered by those driven by Islamic hypocrisy in Nigeria. And those hypocrites are the ones who want to tell the Palestinians that they are more brothers to them. They have no moral standing, they have no moral ground to condemn Israel for what Israel is doing in Gaza. Because it's the same thing that they are doing in Nigeria. I condemn what Israel is doing in Gaza because I have a moral platform to stand on to do so. And that is why I'm able to condemn what they are doing in Nigeria. And I want Nigerians to understand, especially those who they have made fools in Nigeria, making them believe that what is taking place in Palestine is a religious issue. Please, man, please, sir, if you are a Muslim in Nigeria, I want you to understand, it is not about Islam. It's not about religion. It's about land. It's a fight over land. Some people want to grab land, like the Fulanis are grabbing land in Nigeria. They are land grabbers. That is the reason. There are a lot of Christians in Palestine, in Gaza, that are dying. It's a condemnable human tragedy that ought not to be happening. But sadly, it is happening. And the United Nations, the lame duck, great lame duck, is doing absolutely nothing. How they have not been able to mobilize a multinational force to choke that place so that the killings will end is a question. But again, who are the Security Council, Permanent Security Council members? They are Europeans. All right? Yes. China, Russia, France, Britain, and the United States. Yes, 5 out of the Earth's 190-something countries. How democratized the United Nations is. And the world says it's okay And then one vote will shatter every other vote. We shut down the voice of the rest of the world. That is unfair. And that is why the United Nations must be democratized now, or forget it. I don't understand why any African country or the African people are going there to waste their time. Every year in September, they go there to waste their time to tell their stories of wars. Instead of putting more time in working for their people, instead of putting more time in building the African Union. So we have people like us who think like us, who feel the same pain we feel, addressing our problems. We are wasting time coming to New York every September. It's a waste of time. And I think Africans should get out of it. Yes, the United Nations is a useless organization. Yes, that has outlived its usefulness, if ever it was ever useful. Michael Ego Agbara, hey, how are you? Yes, Solomon Arada, thank you, brother, to open our eyes. Keep educating us. Time is united. Thank you very much, Solomon. All right, Veronica, how are you? Yes. And let me see. Watching the Hawks. Question: do you think foreign religion will liberate Africa? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They have no. Why are we not taking our own religion here? Absolutely not. It will destroy Africa. Not just that, it has already done a lot of damage. Yes, the African people need to find themselves and be who they are. God is real and He's universal. That we don't have to see God from the prism of a Chinese. We don't have to see God from the prism of an Indian. We don't have to see God from the prism of Europeans. Yes, we have to see God from the prism of Africa. Even in their book, they said that God said He created man in His own image. Now, if God created you in His own image, if you are a black man, I don't need to tell you how to relate to God. So that's the question. I hope I answered you. So foreign religion will do no good. It's colonialism. That's at best what it is. China is now going fully back to its culture and tradition. Confucius Institute, now all over around the world. And mosques were designed with the Chinese character. Well, again, Africa for Africans, and then African minds should drive Africa's future. It's as simple as that. That is what I believe, and that is what I practice. That is what I live. Old timer. And jamming, all right. Whatever, why are you jamming? Okay, now, thank you, Dorian Polo. Sincere appreciation for your visit here. Yes, thank you. Yes, Africa. Questions for you. When is Africa and the African, when will Africa and the African people be free? Me think it's now. Me think the time is right. Me think we should change course and from where we have been traveling, because we are not going to get to any destination. We have been put in a university where we cannot be guaranteed of graduation. So we must graduate now. Yes, we must start choosing the right type of leaders. We have not been choosing the right type of leaders. That is why we are suffering. The people who will vote criminals into office, you vote a drug dealer who was found guilty here in the United States. You vote a certificate forger, and you vote an identity thief, and you expect your country to be an El Dorado. It is not going to happen. Never. So those are the basic things that we need to do. Yes, let's go and find ourselves. We have provided the blueprints. Let's start listening to ourselves. Are you satisfied with the life you are living? Yeah, look around you. If you're a Nigerian, look around you. If you're a Nigerian watching me now, you don't have electricity. Yeah, but here it's like a crime to not have electricity. If I was in Nigeria broadcasting, my generator would be on. Or maybe I'll be running out of gas. I'll be calling everybody, let's go buy gas for me to be able to complete and continue. Yes, but here it's like a sin. Yes. Here, people don't buy transformers. Yes. People don't buy electricity poles for energy companies. It's their business because that's how they make money. That's how they grow their economies. So they go and make sure that they do what they need to do. Hey, so we thank all everybody who joined us, using this opportunity to say thank you. All those who have followed, we sincerely and deeply appreciate you. Those who have subscribed, thank you, thank you. You have helped us a great deal. And those who are liking our message, please, we love you for what you do. Those who have not liked, please, and you love what we are doing, just put your hand on that button and press it like. Let us see a lot of likes, for what we do, and it helps YouTube, it helps Facebook, it has a TikTok, algorithm to push us up there, so we get the global recognition that we seek, so that there will become a source, a huge source of information and inspiration to people. And this message, we believe, is going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger until those who need it for their redemption will get it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Africa, unite. Yes, 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 yes. And we love everybody who has been with us. We love our members, those who just joined us, for the very first time. We thank you very much. Yes, Godwin Kanife, hey, how are you? Thank you very much. How are you doing? All right, yes. So join our membership. Our membership help us to expand our mission. Yes, we need to update and upgrade our facilities, to be able to bring this message of hope and redemption to the people of the world, starting from Nigeria, Africa, and everywhere there is suffering, and there is persecution, and there is oppression and repression. And that is our work. We are a global movement for peace through justice. Yes, that is what we represent. Thank you. Now, do you agree that Africa should be free? I said yes. Africa must be free. If you're an African, yes, who thought otherwise, or who thought it was impossible, I tell you, go back to the story of those who created the Berlin Conference. They were not up to 100. They came together. Yes, they came together in search of solution for European problems. And they brainstormed. They brainstormed in Berlin, Germany. They stood there, brainstormed, until they found a place. They found a place. The place they call Africa. Yes. They sent some people to go and check it out. That's why you had here the earlier explorers, Clapperton, Mungo Park. They came not because they were conducting any academic exercise. They came as forerunners. Yes, as forerunners for the policy makers who now found a way to jump on Africa. They found a place. What do these people need? They saw, the first people who came, they saw how spiritually connected the African people are. And they decided that one thing is to break their mind through giving them a rogue spirituality. And they succeeded with that. Yes, and that is why we are where we are right now. Yes, that is why we are where they made us dump who we are. We packed who we are somewhere and wear the gown of who we are not. Now, when you are wearing a borrowed gown, there are consequences for it. And the consequences for wearing a borrowed gown or borrowed gowns is what we are dealing with as the African people. So I think it's time for us to ponder. I think it's time for us to ask ourselves questions. I think it is time for us to introspect. I think it is time for us to look back at our history. I think it is time to look at our present and then project into the future. What do we want to see of Africa's nearly 1.5 billion people? 1.5 billion people, mostly young people. Africa has the youngest population. Yes, and Africa has the over 45% of the earth's resources that is not being used for the benefit of the African people. Africans are most vulnerable. Yes, people can come into Africa and take whatever they want and get away because we don't have control. We don't have the army. You don't have any way of monitoring what is taking place. And that is why we must go back to the vision of our founding fathers. Yes, led by Kwame Nkrumah, Emperor Haile Selassie, and the rest of them. They wanted an Africa that was without borders. They wanted an Africa that would be transformed into a country called the United States of Africa, believing that with a United States of Africa, Africa will better manage its destiny, control its resources, and support its own population. Yes, but unfortunately, that dream has remained a dream. It was not fulfilled by the first liners who were all ousted through coup d'etats or outright assassinations by those who felt threatened. Yes, by how visionary they were. But that dream will not die. That vision will not die. That vision has continued to resurrect. How are we going to actualize it? Sooner than later. Yes, an Africa with one government, an Africa with one economy, an Africa with one reserve bank, and an Africa with one military. That is the only thing that will save Africa. Nothing more, nothing less. And if we have an Africa with all these, no force on earth will be able to mess with Africa the way they did like in the past. No force will come and cut our people away again as slaves. Yes, to the extent of castrating them. Can you imagine a people who went through 1,100 years of slavery, 700 years of slavery in the hands of the Arabs, and 400 years of slavery in the hands of the Europeans that brought millions of our people here, scattered here in the United States, South America, and the Caribbean, yes, to work in their plantations. And they were subjugated and treated less than humans. And it has not ended. The consequences of that have become generational. Now is the time for Africans everywhere on the surface of the earth, regardless of how you went to where you are. Those in the United States, we are happy with the progress we are making, joining hands with our brothers everywhere on earth to build an African continent that will be home to all Africans, regardless of places of birth and circumstance of birth, regardless of how they were transported everywhere. Yes, like the Jews are returning to Israel, Africans must return home to Africa. We want an Africa that will have no need for a visa for any black man coming from anywhere in the world. We want an Africa that will be home to all Africans. We want Africa that will not be home to those who propagate Arabic ideology and Eastern European ideology. We want an Africa that will be home to Africans, that will be friendly, that will be business friendly, that will be able to deal with the rest of the world as equal. That is what we want. That is what we want. An Africa where religion will not mean anything anymore. Where religion will be reduced to the practice of individuals and not a state. Yes, that we don't need a religion to be identified by a religion. Our nomenclature will have religion behind it. It doesn't make sense. Religion is a medium, I think, for people to relate with whatever they believe is God. And it should not be an emergency upon the whole of the people. So we want that Africa, an Africa that will be like strong, Africa that will be amenable to changes. How can we do it? And that is why we are here. Suggestions, questions, like what we say, even disagree with us, so we can have a discussion on that. It's okay. We love all those who love what we are doing. We even love those who disagree with us constructively in a manner that they open windows for discussion and perhaps we reach a deal about the way forward for our continent. And that is it. We don't want an Africa where one man, a group of persons will take up AK-47, a rocket-propelled grenade, and be destroying our people in the name of a God that is driven by economics and not by spirituality. I believe, like our ancestors believed, that if we have a United States of Africa, we won't have Boko Haram. We won't be having Al-Shabaab. We won't have all these terrorist organizations that are in Africa operating for the benefit of invaders. Yes, because if we have a United States of Africa, we will have a developed blueprint for addressing internal security crisis. And I don't know how Boko Haram, for instance, withstand the power of the whole of Africa. Yes, and then be killing. So the United States of Africa, we bring Africa, the African spirit, closer to the people. We bring the African unity closer to the people. We bring our Africanness out. Yes, we were a people of love. Our love was what was taken for granted by those who came now and seized our continent and make us look like we are idiots and make us look like we are beggars and then throw crumbs at us and tell us that they are helping us. They give us aid from what they stole from us. How will someone give you aid from what they stole from you and you still can't get it 65, 70 years after? It's time. And that is it. It is time. And it is now. Not tomorrow. It is now. It is this moment. It is this minute. It is this second. Africans. Yes. Africans. You are African traditionalists. You are Sangoma, for those in South Africa. You are animists. You are Christians. You are Muslims. It is time for us to ponder. It's time for us to say, hey, let's think. Now, what about this? This is our skin color. What about how we speak? What about our continent? Now, look at yourself. Look at what you've been practicing. Do you really love Africa? Do you love your brother? Do you know we are all one? Now, after you look at yourself, look at your continent or look at your country. We are working hard towards uniting Africa. Look at your country, for instance, Nigeria. Do you love Nigeria? Most Nigerians don't love Nigeria. They don't care about Nigeria. If you don't love Nigeria, you hate yourself. Yes. Your first love should be Nigeria. It's not negotiable. You must love Nigeria. If you can't love Nigeria, you can't love anybody. You can't love me, who may not share the same tribal inclination with you. But if you love Nigeria, you go a step further. Nigeria is the mother. Africa is the mother. We have been destroying our mother. And we think it's cool. We have been destroying. Nobody destroys what he loves. Nobody destroys what he or she loves. We have been destroying our mother. Our mother that says he gave us arable land. 90% of land in Africa, and I know Nigeria, is arable. So it means you can put something there. It germinates, grows, and it becomes food. What do you want somebody to do for you? The mother is not going to prepare. Actually, Africa is preparing food for us every day to give to us. Even from how she is being raped by invaders, aided by some of our children. He's still able to give us food. Anything that will make us hate that woman, that mother. Take Africa as your own biological mother. Would you like anybody treating your mother so badly? Would you have loved me if I saw your mother where you are? I slapped your mother in your presence. How would you react? They have been slapping Africa. They have been slapping Nigeria. And those slapping Nigeria, slapping Africa, people who look like you and I. They have black skin. They eat the same type of food. They dress perhaps the same way we dress. But we think we have no rights. But if you understand that you have a right to the citizenship of Nigeria or Africa, you must know that you have a duty, a moral obligation to defend Africa or Nigeria against destruction by some of its children, like they are destroying Nigeria now. Like Bola Ahmed Tinubu is destroying Nigeria. Like Kashim Shettima is destroying Nigeria. Like Saad Abubakar is destroying Nigeria. Like Atiku has destroyed Nigeria. Like Nyesom Wike is destroying Nigeria. Yes, like David Mark has destroyed Nigeria. Yes, who again? Aregbesola, the worst governor, destroyed his state. Yes. Sanwo-Olu, yes. What's the one in Imo State? Uzodimma Maho, destroyed. Mba in Enugu, keeping quiet as his people are being murdered. Soludo, all of them destroying. Yes. Sheriff Oboriwori after Okawa's destruction. Again, Udwanga and Ibori destruction. You keep quiet when those people are destroying your country. You keep quiet. That is not. You are not supposed to be quiet. You should understand that you are stakeholders. We are all stakeholders of Nigeria. We are all stakeholders in Africa. So any person who wakes up, brings evil forces to destroy our continent, all of us ought to be united to stop them. That is where we have failed. Now, can we change? Yes. Can we start? Yes, we must start right now. We must start right now so we can stop them and begin to reverse the damage that they have done in the past. It's our duty. It is moral. It is civic. It is spiritual. And it is constitutional. Wherever you find yourself in Africa, fellow African brothers are destroying the place. You have a duty to stand up to them. Because the country's future is in peril. The children are endangered. Yes, the well-being of the country is made vulnerable with our quietness. Kevin, Confucius says, he who walks through the doorway with her on going to Bangkok. I think, I don't know if it's complete enough. Yes, so that's it. So we have a duty to stand up for Africa. Africa unite. Africa arise. In every country, Africa unite. If you are not a revolutionary, find the revolutionaries in your country. Rally around them to bring about the change. Start gathering. We will get to the final table in no distant time. Don't despair. Don't say it is impossible. It is very possible. If they could do it, we can do more. If they could unite in Berlin and deployed to come to Africa, there's no reason we cannot unite as African people to push back and reverse whatever they have done. Now, final question before I leave. China is building infrastructure in Nigeria, all over Africa. All right? They bring their companies, they bring their workers, mostly Chinese prisoners who are serving jail terms in China. Those are the ones you see in villages across Africa. They are digging up, ransacking our environment, polluting our environment, polluting our waters, unchallenged. Yeah? Yes. Yes. And are altering our population demography. All right? Now, they come thousands of miles. Now, Africans go to China. They are curbed. They are restricted to some places. There are places they don't go to. I want to know if you are listening from China, how on earth you are in Chinese forest digging anything. I want to be corrected. So listen, if you are from China, prove me wrong. I know Chinese never give you permanent resident card. You must leave the country and then make re-entry. What are they doing? They are trying to protect their environment. They are protecting their place, right? Yes. Okay. But Africa is wide open. It's like a grazing land. You can go in and do anything you like and get away. Nobody asks you. And we are busy dancing Davido. Yes. We are busy dancing Davido. Voter deported where? By who? I don't understand what you're talking about. So anyway, so they do all these things and get away with it. But when Africans are outside, they are not allowed to be as free. Now they build infrastructure, they build roads. Show me one African company that is building roads in China. So does that make you, ask yourself a question? Where is that African company that is building roads in China, building roads in Germany, building roads in Britain, building roads in France? How come it is only their companies will come to Africa to build? So when are we going to build? It goes to tell you that there's something wrong with us that we must fix. It means that we are not ambitious. It means that we are not futuristic. It means that we need to rethink our educational system. Something is not right. Because we are supposed to be given as much. Yes, as much as we are taking, even though we pay so much for what we are being given. It's not free. So why are our companies not building roads? Why are our companies not part of the electricity companies in various countries outside Africa? Yes. Why do I have to make a phone call to France? I make a phone call to Cameroon, but I have to pass through France? Questions that we must answer. So we need to go back to work, and seriously too. This is the time to rethink. And this is for the African young generation. We have been reduced to a colony of consumers. Yes, we have been reduced to a colony of consumers. We should be seen in the global space. Our companies should be in the United States operating and running businesses. Our companies should be in Germany. Our companies should be in Britain competing with the best over there. Our companies should be here in the US. Our companies should be in Russia. Our companies should be in China, building infrastructure. Yes, maintaining the standard, global standard. We are tired, and it has to be because of the type of leadership that we have had. We are tired of this subsistent leadership. We are tired of the subservient leadership. We should be conscious to choose those who are ambitious, who are visionaries, who can do things beyond the African space. Yes, if we cannot take care of we should at least be able to build roads for ourselves. Because every time the Chinese companies, the German companies come to build roads, yes, it is to the disadvantage of our economy. We pay them, and they take their money to their countries. They don't invest, they don't employ our people. Yes, why can't we build roads? Where are those civil engineers that we are graduating, turning out from schools every year? What are we doing with them? Are we providing access to opportunities for them? What about the scientists that we are bringing? Do we have research laboratories for them? Yes, what about the doctors? Do we have real hospitals where they can express themselves? What about the nurses? You know, millions of Nigerian nurses are outside Nigeria. What are we doing? Yes. You see what is going on? So that's what it is. Africa has to be free. And if we have to be free, we must look inwardly. We must look at our leadership, the type of leadership. We must look at our educational institution. We must restructure our economy to be more African. Yeah, even though we open access to global economy for the necessary exchanges that we need. It's a simple thing. It's not a rocket science. We must stop being the fake people. We must not continue to be the subservient people. We must not continue to be the consumers that we have been reduced to. We are tired of consuming. Let us produce. If we start producing, our economies will get stronger, and our currencies will get stronger. That is why our currencies are watery, because we are not productive. Not productive because we are lazy, because of the type of system that we run. Yes, we need to change. We need to change. We need to produce first what we eat, and eat what we produce. And you know the impact of that on the local economy before we start talking about export. All right? We must stop the habit, the culture of exporting raw materials. Any company, any country, any corporation from outside Nigeria, outside Africa, that is desirous of doing business in Africa must come and register their presence in Africa. They must build their plants in Africa. They must employ Africans, even to the highest level. Yes. So all of us will be happy. They must not continue to deplete our resources. And then when our young people move to those countries, you call them illegal aliens. You start looking for ways to deport them. You are the ones inviting them, because you are taking resources from their countries to develop yours. And you know what mobility of labor is. They're going to go. In the past, when they came, they chained our ancestors, into slavery. Now our people have been manipulated into walking into slavery by themselves. You see, and at times they get too many, and then it becomes a problem to handle them. So the world must be fair. The world must adjust itself. If we want to control population or migration, we must be humane. We must do things that will keep people from places that are vulnerable, to keep them in their places. Invest in those places. Invest, and you will still make money. Invest in their future. Invest in their destiny. That is economic diplomacy. It's as simple as that. All right, with this, we come to the close of this. It's been such a wonderful moment. And I love you guys for what you did, for your support, for all the likes, for all the sharing, and for all the comments. God bless you, and may God liberate Africa, and Africa will unite. Bye for now. And again, let me call. If this is your very first time of joining, please follow me before we leave. And if you are subscribed, we thank you. And our returning members, we can't thank you enough for helping us attain this. We have reached over 1 million views since we started. And it couldn't have been possible without you. TikTok, thank you very much. You are coming up a lot. I've seen a lot of follows here. Again, what to do? I'm an activist and I'm a revolutionary. I love humanity. I'm a Rastaman. I have no hate, no mischief, no jealousy, no bigotry, and no hypocrisy. And just see, what you see is what you get. My work is centered on inspiring the African people to wake up and liberate themselves and their continent. Bye for now, and I will not stop loving you guys. Take care.